Hey TikTok! So I've decided I'm going to do a week by week update on how nursing school is going. Forgive me, it's very bright outside. So yesterday was the finish of week 1. Lots of busy work. We had literally 8 modules due the second day of class, which in its own right is just bananas. But got those finished, had orientation, had lecture day, and then had my first lab day. Who knew that washing your hands had 14 steps? Am I right? Next week we literally start, it's not clinicals, but it's basically clinicals. So that'll be fun. And then, yeah, we'll just give you weekly updates. And now I get to go into work, so y'all stay healthy and happy, and I don't know, don't freeze if you're in a cold area. And if you're in a warm area, enjoy it for me. Thank you. Bye. Hey guys, so weekly nursing school update is super simple. Health promotion stuff and 1 day of lecture. Easy peasy, 2 days, it was fine. However, today on my way into work, I got some very bad news. My brother-in-law is on a ventilator in California and he's not expected to come off alive. So they are going to take him off Monday and let him go. Monday also happens to be my birthday, so that's lovely. This is the husband of my oldest sister who died 2 Thanksgivings ago. Their oldest daughter found her and started compressions, and she was not, they couldn't get her back. And now this poor girl is watching her father die, and she can't do anything about it. She's alone. Her little sister is in a different area and can't help, and we don't live anywhere near them. My sister that lives here in town with me is going to fly there and do everything she can to help out. But funds are tight, so I know people are going to say, oh, you're grabbing for money, but if you can, even $5 helps. If not, don't worry about it. But this was my update for the week. Thank you. So we have an update. He's off the vent and breathing on his own, but they are placing him in hospice and they give him a couple days at most. They took him off the vent this afternoon and are titrating his norepi down because he's going to hospice, so they're basically comfort measures at this point. The running theory is his liver just shut down. We're not entirely sure why. He wasn't a huge drinker, nothing like that, just randomly in liver failure and possibly fighting some sort of infection. He is on 2 different very strong antibiotics right now, but the prognosis is a day or 2. So like I said yesterday, his daughter is basically alone dealing with this. My surviving sister, the one that lives here in town with me, landed earlier today using basically her house payment to get there, and is doing her best to help our niece through this. So again, if, and I do mean if, you are able and willing to help out, anything that you give me is going to go straight to them. 1, to cover the travel so my sister's house isn't, in jeopardy, and the rest will go directly to Tia. We don't know much at this point, but they're thinking, again, a day or 2 at most. So hey guys, final update. He came off the ventilator yesterday, as I told you, and was doing okay-ish, you know, hospice and all that. I don't yet know if he ever left the hospital to go to hospice or if he just stayed there, if he stayed stable enough to go to hospice or not. But he died today at about 5:10, 5:20-ish in the evening. He was in complete liver failure. His kidneys were both dead, and he had multi-system organ failure on top of all that. They couldn't even consider, hi sweetheart, they couldn't even consider dialysis because it would have sent him straight into a code. So my living sister was able to get there and help out with everything. They found a lot of really shady stuff going on behind the scenes with a sort of significant other. So tentatively, we're thinking there might be a Black Widow situation here, but it doesn't matter because he is now gone, and hopefully we can find out why. But he is gone. His daughter did get a chance to say goodbye. He actually woke up yesterday after they took the tube out, and he was really tired and weak, as is to be expected of someone who was passing, but he did get to have a conversation with her, and she's at peace regarding his passing, which is more than I was hoping for, so that's good. It sounds like the plan now is to protect whatever assets may still remain, and that is a very big question because we have no idea. And, you know, kind of do some damage control, make sure, hopefully we can do an autopsy and find something, but if not, it is what it is. But we are going to do right by his family. I will let you guys know how this week goes, nursing school-wise, later. Thank you.
What's a coincidence that you think about a lot?
So there are many weird things that happen in my family, and I can't even begin to tell you how many weird coincidences exist. But the one that is currently on my mind, that will probably be on my mind for a long time yet, I found out that my oldest sister was dead as I was walking in to my job in the ER. This was 2 Thanksgivings ago. Okay. I found out Saturday that her husband, her surviving husband, was dying as I was walking into work in my ER. Shit like that happens to me and my family all the time. All the time. Hey guys, nursing school week 3 update. Tuesday was lab day. I am now officially checked off to check vitals, which is great because during my first health promotion I wasn't allowed to, and it was cardiac pulmonary rehab. Kind of needed to check vitals there. So we were useless, but now we won't be useless. Yay! Second day was just lecture days. A lot of busy work. It's fine. My third day will be tomorrow, Friday, and it's a simulation day. Don't know what we'll be doing yet, but I'll let you know probably on my way into work or at some point when I get a break at work. And then you'll see the whole thing. I have a hilarious ADHD brain and somehow turned the way platelets work. You know, they go from normal little cells to big poofy balls of sticky togetherness. They're pufferfish in my head now. Yep. See? Pufferfish. I also know some of you might be concerned that I'm still doing school and work and not seemingly taking a break. after my brother-in-law passed away on my birthday, which was Monday. I'm doing okay. I have waves. It hits me in waves, as grief does. But I do best by working through things. So I'm doing okay. The sister that went to help out, she's coming back tomorrow. There's been a lot of development in that regard. And his oldest daughter, the one who was there dealing with all of this alone, is okay. She's doing all right. She has closure, and most of the affairs have been settled between her and my sister. So hopefully that all goes down well. We are doing an autopsy and we are filing a police report because there is some sketch shit going on with his live-in type person who is no longer living and has randomly vanished. No. If this chick effectively killed my brother-in-law, I'm gonna make sure that we pin her ass to the floor and she can never hurt anyone else ever again. Because that's not okay. So Sim was interesting. Basically just super expensive robots that do crazy things like blink and breathe and have medical problems. Ooh. But it was fine. Hey guys, nursing school update. This week was super simple and it's like one of 2 weeks in the whole semester that's gonna be nice. All I had this week was an exam. We had our first exam this week and that was pretty much it. I'm currently working on some of my extra ATI modules and stuff. Just trying to keep ahead on those because I do not want to have to try and cram a buttload of those in when I'm trying to do everything else. Not again. That wasn't fun the first time. I'm not going to let it happen again. So, just powering through some of those. It's currently 7:30 at night. My daughter's sleeping in the other room. So I'm out in the kitchen drinking some hot chocolate. Yeah. So starting Friday, I have pretty much 10 days non-stop. So 3 days of work, health promotion, skills lab, lecture class, and then I want to say simulation, and then 3 more days of work. There is no stopping this upcoming week. So 10 days straight of madness. So my video next week might be kind of like frazzled, but this week was nice. So yeah, that's it. See you guys next week. I almost forgot. This was the first time in my entire life that I had accommodations for my ADHD while taking an exam. And while it wasn't a horribly hard exam, it did feel like it made a fairly decent difference. If you have a neurodivergence and you feel like you need something, advocate for yourself. Seriously, it can make a difference. I've never been able to take a test with music in the background so my brain doesn't just bananas itself out. It was worth it. I'm serious. Do what it takes. Advocate. It can make a whole world of difference. Nursing school week 6 update. My breakfast of champions today was Mountain Dew and some cowtails. I have a raging migraine that I've already taken stuff for, but it's not touching. And I'm on my way to work. So we started off this week with health promotion, got to hang out with littles, it was fun. And then we had simulation, so another stupid expensive robot that did weird things. The simulation guy had a lot of fun messing with us, it was great. Third day was lecture. Nothing crazy thrown in that one, I had to think about it for a second. And then we had lab, so I am now checked off to give some meds. know, like topicals and suppositories, fun things like that. We got to do bed stuff. And then today is a work day. Yep. Sorry, I got nothing fun this week. I'm sorry I look like trash. It is what it is. See you next week. Nursing school week 6, I think. It's either 6 or 7. I'll have to figure that out at some point. This week was busy as heck. We had a health promotion at an OB clinic, so that was fun. I got to see some things that I was not expecting to see, like needles in very intimate places and a bio T insertion. That was bananas, but it's similar to what they do for an Nexplanon, so I guess it makes sense. I went immediately from that to my first med calculation exam. Took me 7 hours to figure out med math, because the way that the books and the online stuff tried to explain it made zilch sense to my brain. But 7 hours later it clicked and I got it and I did fine. So we had lecture Wednesday, like normal. And then Thursday we had another lab checkoff. This checkoff allows me to give all meds, mostly, that are not IV. So I can poke muscles and fat and skin, and I can make you swallow things and put things in your mouth that you don't always want there. I can do butt stuff, I can do vag stuff, I can do all the things except for IVs. So, yay! And that'll be super helpful because we start our actual clinicals next week, where we can actually do the things. Be interesting. So this week hasn't been a shit sandwich with turd sprinkles like that one week, a couple back. That honestly, I really feel screwed my whole concept of time up. But it has been super busy. I had 10 days straight of things, 1 day off, and I'm now in a 12-day stretch of things. Yeah, so there's that. You can tell I'm stressed because I keep picking at my stupid face. But that's it for this week, and I'll let you know what happens next week. Bye. So I had a coworker ask me a very interesting question, which is, how am I dealing with the stress of nursing school and working full-time and being a mom and all the things? And I had to think about it for a minute, but I think it's because my whole life has been nothing but stressful situations. One after another after another. It's been stressful situations. So, and this isn't even the worst. I'm just coasting. So yeah, I think the most stressful my life has been was right after my mom died. And I worked 16-hour days between 2 jobs, had enough time between them to change in the car as I was going from one to the other, and was doing my EMT schooling while living in a literal shithole of house, quote-unquote house. Yeah, no. If I ever need to tell you about the anti-Hobbit hole, I'll tell you about the anti-Hobbit hole. That place was fucking horrible. But yeah, so I'm surviving nursing school because it's not the most stressed I've been in my life, nor for as long. What does that say? Nursing school week 7 update. We had our first actual clinicals. So Monday was an orientation to the 2 places we're doing clinicals. It was like an hour that I had to wear my scrubs for basically no reason, but appease the powers that be, appease them. And then we were at one of the facilities the next afternoon. I got to see some pretty interesting things, including a yeast infection that has spread to here. That's not good. That poor person. So they're doing things to help try and fix that. And then Wednesday was test and lecture. I passed my test fairly well. I may have had the highest score. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm the only person that had that score, but I was up there, which I wasn't expecting, so I'll take it. And then Thursday, we were at the same facility, but in the morning, and we had been promised that we'd get to do med pass, and the nurses that were there that day didn't want us to do med pass, so we didn't do med pass. But maybe next week or a couple weeks after that, because spring break is coming up too. I will be at a different facility this upcoming Monday, and we've already had not so great things be reported by the other students about that facility, and I know this facility myself from the patients that usually end up in my ER. I'm not excited. There is no excitement in me about this place. Not a single ounce. Not a single smidgen. But we'll be there. We'll see what happens. And, yeah. Holler at you guys next week. Week 8 nursing school update. So, we went to the facility that I was afraid of going to. I was the most prepared of my group for how bad this place was going to be. But by no means was I actually prepared for how fucking horrible this place was. No names, no nothing. I will simply say, when you have to convince a CNA to do their job, when they actually have an extra set of hands to help them, you got a problem. The majority of the patients I dealt with had been sitting, laying in dirty, and I don't mean somewhat soiled, I mean these haven't been changed in at least 8 hours. Briefs. Okay? If they had briefs. There were catheters that were drained into showers under patients while they were taking a shower, because it's easier than putting it into something else and emptying it in the toilet. And I will tell you, the tubes on those catheters, disgusting. Also, the entire facility smelled of UTI and C. diff. The entire facility. Not a single room didn't. It was so bad that they actually have constant air fresheners running on the walls. I am talking a foot by 11-inch size air fresheners running on the walls at all times in every hall. Every hall. And as far as doing any nursing stuff goes, yeah, no, that was completely off the table, because they had 2 nurses, maybe 3 for the entire facility, and they didn't have the time or want to deal, quote unquote, with nursing students. So we were basically used as CNAs the entire time we were there. And I have absolutely no problem with that. What I have a problem with is the CNAs going, oh, we have extra hands? Cool. Let's jump our entire jobs on these kids. Most of us are younger. I'm not in that group. And then just fucking disappear. And not take care of our patients. Because it's not like they were doing that in the first place. Mind you, none of us had any way of knowing what restrictions these patients are on. Dietary, physical movement, nothing. There was nothing to tell us what kind of movement ability these patients had, including, do they need a Hoyer, can they stand on their own, etc., etc., etc. One of the nurses, one of the CNAs I spoke with didn't even know what a fucking code on the door meant. Oh, gold star, fall risk. She didn't know that. She had to ask another person. Oh, well, it's new. No. This is part of your job. This is something you know. This is the facility you work at. These are your patients. These people are your responsibility. How the hell do you not know how to take care of them? And she wasn't new. Now, mind you, being students, we don't have access to anything. I mean anything. We can't look at the patient's chart and go, oh, they're high fall risk. They need Sarah Steady to move around. No, we had nothing. Absolutely nothing. No access to anything. And they just fucking vanished. Literally the only patient that I personally dealt with that was not in a deplorable state here had been previously seen to within like an hour by an out-of-facility hospice organization. They came in, they did his cares, they did his meds, etc. He only called again because he pooped, and we solved that. He was the only one that was not in a deplorable condition. I'm gonna stop ranting now, but Then we had a lab day where we went over everything we've learned, and it was great, and they showed us that we're good at stuff and to be prepared because next semester is going to be bananas. Cool. We're at midterms. Next week is spring break. I'm not too concerned about that just yet. And then today was lecture, and that was fine. That was lecture. It's always what it is. So, that was nursing school week 8 update. Sorry for the... I can't with that facility. I can't when they send me patients to my ER, and I just can't. See you guys next week. I don't know what I'll do, because it's spring break. But I'll see you next week. Nursing school week 9 update. So this week I had a health promotion in another city. That was kind of funny because I ended up only having one patient the entire time I was there. But I got a lot of really good information about that patient before we went and treated her chronic pressure ulcer, which has amazingly gotten like that big. It's a little bit, you know. It was stage 4 at one point, so this is phenomenal for this person. Then had another clinical in town. I actually got to pass meds. Finally, including a narcotic, which I was pretty excited about, which is weird to say, but that was that. I took my second and official dosage calc exam for this semester and passed. It was a little different than the first one. The words, like everything was worded different and funny, and they were more specific and particular, but got that sorted. And had lecture like normal. And then I didn't have anything Thursday, I don't think, for once. Yeah, I think Thursday was just a chill day. And then I worked. So, nursing school week 9. Oh, and Rose is doing great. Nursing school week 10 update. I don't remember what I did, so I'm going to get my schedule so I can remember, because yes, that is my life, and I remember nothing. One of the facilities for clinicals, it was actually better than we were expecting it to be. We were allowed to be nursing students instead of CNAs 2.0, so that was nice. We had class, which, you know, lecture class, yay. Same as it always is. I worked a day that I don't normally work because we had simulation on a day we don't normally have it, which was kind of funny because one of the simulations was kind of an emergency-based one, and hey, who does emergency all the time? I do. Who made it like way too fast? I did. Hey. The poor instructor. He's like, you guys did that so fast I couldn't get the patient to crump. I'm sorry. So yeah, that was nursing school week 10. Sorry, it's on literally the first day of week 11. But hey, here you go. See ya later this week. Bye. Nursing school week 11 update. So we had 2 clinical days and a lecture day. First clinical day was an afternoon, at the Not So Bueno facility. Wasn't horrible. Once again, we weren't treated as CNA 2.0s. We were treated as nursing students for the most part. It was alright. It was tolerable. We got through. Bueno. And then morning at the good facility, got to do a lot of cool stuff. I got to do a TB test on somebody, and I got like the actual injection, and I got to do an RSV inoculation on someone. That was pretty cool. Weirdly. Quick note for people. TB tests, the wheal that you create under the skin on older populations doesn't always create that perfect wheal. Sometimes it's loppy and weird. So that's a good thing to note for those going into the world and not knowing that it doesn't always come out perfect. So good to know. So yeah, that was my life this week. Next week is going to be chaotic because I haven't stopped, and I won't stop until the 14th. I have no off days, so see you next week. Nursing school week 12 update. Monday, the eclipse, also my daughter's birthday. Cute picture for text next. Got to go to our final health promotion for this semester, which was cardiopulmonary rehab on a cardiac day. Got to listen to a dude's LVAD, like, through here. That was pretty wicked, just... What? No pulse. And there's like little warnings. He has warnings everywhere. It's so funny. May not have pulse. May not have pulse. Person does not have pulse. Do not freak out. Will not have pulse. I also got to learn how to take his blood pressure with a Doppler, so that was pretty cool. The next day we had a morning shift at the good facility. Got to do nothing super crazy, I don't feel. I feel like it was a fairly blasé day. And then we had class, and we were at the other facility the next day on Thursday. Nothing super crazy then either. And then, yeah, I'm back at work again. So, next week is gonna be very boring, update-wise, as I will not have anything until Wednesday, which is lecture. And the first half of lecture is actually going to be our 4th exam of the year, or of the semester. So, I have to study for that in my ADHD non-study ways. Still not entirely sure how the hell I'm pulling any of that off, but it's working. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye. Nursing school week 13, I think, update. Just got out of a half shift that I picked up at work because I'm an idiot like that. It's cold. Passed exam 4, so that was nice. Only exam we have left, aside from a few small ATI ones that we're doing on a lab day that shouldn't even be a lab day, is our final exam for this semester, which isn't until May 8th, so that's great. We had one, you can tell I'm tired, one clinical day, and it was an ass dragging kind of day, complete with fire alarm, because of course we're going to test the fire alarms while the students are there, and then the facility goes into COVID outbreak status. So I had NOM version COVID flashbacks that I wasn't expecting to have, so that was fun. And I haven't slept because I'm an idiot. So I'm gonna go home and sleep. See you guys next week. Bye. Nursing school week 14 update. I guess somehow this got messed up. We did the 2 simple tests that kind of count towards our grade but aren't crazy. And then had our, not our final lecture of the year. Yeah, we had our final lecture of the year. So that was crazy. And then on our last day of the week, we had a skills day that wasn't really a skills day. It was kind of like a recap of everything. And that's it. That's all of it. Not gonna lie, it's kind of weird going from balls to the wall crazy busy to having like a day or 2 extra just to kind of chillax and do stuff. And now that the weather is nicer, I've been actually doing stuff. So that's been... So like today I cleaned up my garden and I planted my little potted plants for the front so that I have some color in my life. Say hi to Helen and Hugo Humorous. Got my watering situation sorted out again. Moved some of my bulbs around. It was kind of productive and nice for the first time in a very, very long time. I don't plan on doing anything too intense in the garden this year. I might just keep my golden raspberries up, and that's probably gonna be it. So yeah, that was this week. See you next. Nursing school week 15 update. We were supposed to have clinicals on Tuesday, but the instructor called out sick. We were all calling BS on that, but it turns out this instructor has fallen off the face of the earth. So, who knows? Who knows? And then we had our presentation day. I had the timing mixed up, so it technically cost us a couple of points, and then our lack of ability to get time to practice together before our presentation cost us another couple, but we still passed, so we'll take it. And that was it. That was it. That was our whole week. And then next week, literally the only thing I have is our final exam. So, attempt to study for that throughout this weekend, and that's it for first semester. So I guess I'll see you next week when I know how I did. Bye. Nursing school week 16 update. All we had this week was our final exam, and I passed that, so I'm through to the next semester. I'm going to use summer break to just simply focus on work and kiddo, building up hopefully the savings, because I ain't got nothing left. And then we'll see how next semester goes. It's supposed to start off with a bang in the form of dosage calc on orientation day. So excited for that. So I guess I'll post you guys on whatever madness I do throughout. Until then.